Ninjago is a franchise that has been going on for over 13 years at this point, but it isn't always smooth sailing. Like every long-running franchise, Ninjago, especially modern Ninjago, face many issues, and not just with the show itself, but rather the franchise as a whole. But there are two main problems that I believe are not only holding Ninjago as a whole back, but also, if not addressed, could leave it in shambles. One of the issues that I have noticed was when the new January 2025 sets were revealed and something felt a bit off, so I decided to look at some previous Dragons Riding sets, and then it hit me. You are paying more for less.
What the is this piece of
I know what you're thinking. Inflation, right? Sets aren't gonna have the same kind of price per piece value they had back in 2015. I mean, this 2025 set with 333 pieces that cost $50 with only 3 minifigures, not fully accessorized, I might add, while only a decade previous, a set with almost double the piece count and 5 fully accessorized figures made you only spend $40. But hey, calculations say they should be charging $54. Although, if you were to look at the same way, we have this $50 set that's able to pack in more pieces, and we also have the set with more minifigures and a similar piece count costing only $35. But why is that? Well, it's because this set includes much larger pieces which cost more to produce, thus making the price go up, as well as having an exclusive mold only available in this set, which will obviously drive up the price, and is a reason why most modern Ninjago sets cost more, because it always seems like they are creating a brand new blade piece, and new pieces are expensive to produce. But it feels like every wave of Ninjago, Dreams, and Lego Monkey Kid, it always feels like they're including a new blade mold. Although they all serve different purposes, they're kind of in a similar boat. So is the problem that Lego are increasing the price and giving you less pieces? No, it's a fact that even though the value of Ninjago sets are no longer as what they used to be, although sometimes there are decent value sets and we have a few stinkers here and there. No, it's the fact that even though you're paying more and getting less pieces and are getting less minifigures overall, Lego can't be bothered to give the minifigures you do get the armor piece. Yup, a signature Lego classic of not including all the minifigures accessory in one set. And I know what you're thinking, they can't have armor pieces because they have to fit in the mech. And you know what I say to that logic?
No.
I mean, sure, he won't be able to fit, but at least give the armor piece so that we can have a fully complete figure. And even when they can fit, Lego still doesn't include the armor. Okay, I get that even with 84 pieces, the set costs $10 because of these large ice blades. But come on, at least include just one more piece. I know this isn't the Lego designer's fault since they're giving a very tight restriction and deadline, but why can't they just include one more piece? Money! That's why they just want you to purchase the larger sets or to purchase a piece separately so they can make more money. And this is a really big problem, not just for collectors, since most of them are quite frankly little kids. They have very little disposable income and can splurge $50 on a set, but would still like to collect the newest sets. So that's why we have such like Zane's bike or the spinners that focus less on the value and more on the overall play features, since cheaper sets are targeted towards younger fans. But the fact that these figures aren't given the full treatment, such as the armor piece, makes them feel incomplete, since in the show they are always seen to have armor on, and thus the figures are designed with the armor in mind, so they just look naked without it. Like a figure like this cannot work without armor, but a figure like this can. And I know that it seems like I'm just nitpicking at this point, but it feels like that even though you are paying more overall per piece in these modern sets, them not including the armor piece, which is basically essential for most Ninjago figures, makes it feel like there's something missing that is incomplete and you need to get a DLC to finish it. It's not like you're tight on budget or pieces, which when I don't include the armor, but the set value is pretty good, I don't mind, although I still feel like they could still add it in there. And I know that older Ninjago sets have the same problem, but at least they didn't charge you $40 for just a handful of pieces. And that's the problem with the sets, but it's even worse with the show. Much worse. It's not that the show itself is now worse, but rather how LEGO distributes and releases the show. First of all, I know that Ninjago seasons coming out early on some random TV website is quite frankly the norm for the franchise at this point.
No, we're staying right here. Bring it on! We're not going to quit the games. What are you going to do? What are you doing now?
These games before! I said I played these games before!
I mean, remember the time Seaborn released just a little bit earlier than it was supposed to? You know, a whole half a year earlier before we even got the first trailer and the sets, which caused a long Ninjago drought. Or when we got our first look at Season 11's new animation style and it looked like it was running on a PS2, which caused many people to drop the show based on how it looked. So LEGO already has a bad track record of releasing Ninjago seasons. But with the release of Dragon's Rising Season 1, everything actually went smoothly for once, with LEGO having a temporary partnership with Netflix by making Dragon's Rising Season 1 a Netflix series, which although wasn't perfect, where not every language and region got the season day one, but at least it was better than nothing. Everything felt fine. And it seems like LEGO was treating this new era of Ninjago more seriously than the last. With the release of Season 2, that's when everything went downhill, especially with Part 2, when LEGO released the first teaser and proper release date. It seemed like things were going perfectly, but then, only a day later, the entire part was leaked on Peacock, and then the next day it was taken down. But the damage was already done. A lot of people had already seen and downloaded the season, and although the Ninjago community did a move and pretend they didn't see it, since not everyone has seen it and we're just waiting for the official release, which was pretty good in making sure spoilers didn't spread around. There was a downside to this, since now many people who has seen the season couldn't express their thoughts on it since it wasn't officially out yet, especially for content creators weren't able to express their opinions and thoughts on the season even though it has already been out. Even those who were in the LEGO Ambassador network weren't allowed to talk about it and pretended to be surprised by new pieces of marketing. And it's not like it was leaked in PS1 quality, but instead it was in 1080p, although not the best bitrate, and a few seconds were cut off for what I assume were ads, but other than that, it released in relatively decent quality. But why is this worse than what was going on with older Ninjago? I mean, it's basically the same thing when previous seasons got leaked early, like with Master of the Mountain or Sons of Garmadon. Well, unlike the older seasons, where each season was mostly its own contained thing and connected to the next season, Dragon's Rising is one connected storyline, with each season continuing the same mystery and building off each other. Like with Old Ninjago, where each season has own set of new and different villains. While this is also true with Dragon's Rising, having different enemies for the ninjas to face, it's clear that they are all part of a much larger piece of the puzzle that we have yet to see unfold. So even if one episode leaks out of order, it can ruin all the hype and surprise. Like, imagine this: 3 years from now, we're in the final season of Dragon's Rising. Everything has been built up to this one moment, and then boom, on a random school day, the last episode of the season leaks early and everything is spoiled and wasted. And this might seem like a stretch, but something similar already happened like this a few years ago with Crystallized Part 2, which was advertised to be the end of the Ninjago saga that had been going on for the past 13 years. It was meant to be their endgame, but it all leaked. Even though LEGO has been advertising the season well and put out a trailer that gave us a proper release date for the end of Ninjago, it was all ruined because the episode had leaked. And don't take my word for it, take what this viewer at the time had to say about the leaked episodes. First of all, please don't post spoilers if you have yet to see the leaked videos. A lot of people's experience with the previous seasons have soured because they saw a leaked episode and already knew what was going on instead of letting the hype build to the actual release. LEGO really fumbled the bag on this one. A week before, episodes air in France and they somehow let two episodes pop up randomly in Germany. Surely they would have learned from Crystallized Part 2 release that their previous security surrounding leak was not effective. If you want my recommendation, don't watch the leaked episodes. If you're French or are willing to watch sub content, then watch it when it releases in France next week. Don't let the language barrier ruin your experience or what has been a hype-filled month of excitement for Ninjago fans. If you're in the States, watch it on June 1st. It's not that far away, but you'll be able to get the full experience watching on Netflix instead of watching the grainy 720p download video from the leaks. Those are just my 2 cents on the issue. Protect yourselves out there. Now, imagine this happened to Dragons Rising, let's say season 6 or whatever the last season is, it would ruin everything. These issues, in my opinion, it was plaguing modern Ninjago and are what is holding it back, with LEGO being more greedy with the sets and more reckless with how they distribute the show. Although they are definitely trying to make an effort to make it more accessible to watch, and they still do make great value sets, even if sometimes it is a hit or miss. But let me know what you guys think. Are these actual problems with Born Ninjago, or am I just over exaggerating here? Let me know in the comments and I will see you in the next video. Wait, these are the 2024 collectibles? A clear katana piece